Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Group Chat. Another week down, and more importantly, another year down. Not yet. Hold it, Pete. Hold it. Another year down. It's a big 1 year anniversary. We're going to talk about of what? Most of you, I'm sure, know. But a year has officially been put in the books. Another thing that's been put in the books is a big-ass check from Anand. We're celebrating Anand today. Anand had a big payday on one of his investments, and we're celebrating him.
And we find out in the episode what he bought. You could not believe it.
You will not believe it, and he won't either, and he doesn't even know how to find it. But he bought it, and it was expensive.
Yes.
So we're celebrating Anand. We got some champagne here. We're going to talk about it. We're going to actually talk all about the company and the deal and how this all went down, because I think there's a lot to learn here.
Absolutely.
Then, of course, we got to go through all things news. We're talking about a lot of money. We're talking about another $41 billion IPO. We're talking about a multi-billion dollar SPAC, maybe the biggest SPAC of all time. SPAC that ass up. We're talking about NFTs. These things are just getting insane.
Yep.
Amazon is quietly taking over the entire grocery business. And then we're going to celebrate our year anniversary. Mm-hmm. Finally, we're going to finish up with our winners, losers content, and that is today's episode. It's a hot one.
It is.
Yeah. Pete, you got something to say? It looks like something's on your mind.
Yeah, there's also going to be a way for you to win $500.
Really?
I'll explain that later.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, man, we're giving away $500. So Anand's not the only one who got paid today.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, Group Chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dun, dun, dun,
the top is coming off. And coupon! Oh my gosh. Ding, 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 ding. That's going to be what it's like at the clubs. I'm vaccinated. Pass it around. Oh my God.
Congratulations.
Here we are.
We're here.
Anand, big day.
Big day. I've been up since 4 a.m.
You look a little tired. What's going on?
I've been up since 4.
Okay.
I had to take Mav to school at 7:30 by the airport.
And 4 was what? So that you could watch?
I just couldn't sleep. I started getting texts from friends, and then I just was like, whatever. But the CEO of, this is what I want to open up. The CEO of Coupon, Bom Kim, who went to school in the United States of America.
Harvard.
No, high school.
Oh, wow.
Like Andover or Exeter, one of those two.
Ritzy private school.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he went to Harvard undergrad, like you did.
Thank you.
And he also went to Harvard Business School. I don't know if you claim business school.
Did you do business school or no?
No, I'm an undergrad guy. Oh. I mean, once I go to the undergrad, what do you need to go to MBA for?
Got it. Okay, got it. So you didn't see him there.
Yeah, so he's getting interviewed at 5:10 in the morning.
So he speaks English perfectly fine?
No accent.
Okay.
Not even an accent?
No accent.
Okay.
So it's 5:10 in the morning, West Coast time. It's like the pre-market hot show for CNBC. Andrew Sorkin's hosting it. And I wake up, obviously a little earlier, but I'm like really excited to hear his interview because he's just like, one of those founders, like one of the great tech founders that you'll ever see. Mm-hmm. So I'm really excited.
How old is he?
He might be close to your age.
Okay.
And he's older than me, but he's not.
Maybe like 38, 39.
He might be 40. I have no idea, but in that range.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. Commercial breaks. We've got Bom Kim from Coupon, and they play Gangnam Style. And like dun 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 dun, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Maybe he loves that guy, Psy.
Did he ask for that?
So I was very curious. So I heard that, and I was like, "This is really like suspicious." Yeah. They're playing Gangnam Style, and then he does a great interview and explains the company and what they're like trying to do over the next 20 years, and I ask Neil, who's very close with the CEO, was that racist or did he request Gangnam Style? He goes, he certainly did not request Gangnam Style.
What song would he have requested?
He didn't say that.
Good question. So you're telling
Maybe
me
he just said, I want a big Korean song because I'm Korean. I want to be prideful.
still racist. If you come out with Gangnam Style, racist.
That's the only thing. Maybe that's the only song they had.
Like,
They searched
what are you
K-pop
doing,
and they had,
CNBC?
Gangnam Style. We know that.
What are you doing, CNBC? Just because you have a Korean CEO?
Oh yeah, that feels real.
That's what I said. When Neil goes on, it'll be Jai Ho.
It has to be,
It
right?
has to be Jai Ho.
Oh my god.
He's American born.
Yeah, but you gotta
Imagine
give
And
him.
he's the
American
biggest Drake
born.
fan. He's like me. He's a huge Drake fan.
Does Drake
You can't
have
give
Imagine
him?
he's like, can you guys maybe bring me out to some Drake? And they're like, Jai Ho.
Jai Ho, Jai Ho.
We know what he really wants.
He should just go full on turban, and when he goes on,
Yeah,
they're
it's-
jokes.
CNBC
CNBC's
might not like it.
Yeah, it was really shocking.
Yeah, that feels to me like the type of racism that like Dave Chappelle jokes about. Like
It's
it's
a
so
subtle-
ridiculous,
Yeah.
But it's
but subtle. Yeah, it's like you just genuinely don't get it. You didn't even realize you were wildly racist.
because I think in the producer's mind
he's like, I nailed it.
because
Nailed
it's a
it.
Korean company, right? Forget that he's Korean. It's also a Korean company. He's like, how do I just really show that I'm in tune
Yeah.
with the Koreans?
It's like you have a big meeting with a bunch of people from Mexico and you bring a whole lot of Taco Bell. And you're like, I brought some
Yeah,
of your
a
national
peace
cuisine,
offering.
a peace offering from me to you. Oh my God. Okay, well, that's an interesting note.
That's a great way to start up, a little Gangnam Style.
So for the listener, in case anyone's a little foggy, what happened? Today was the IPO.
Today was the IPO, so it priced last night at $35 a share, which is roughly 60 billion. It's trading in the low 50s right now, which is 40% higher, 90 to 100 billion, depending on what's going on. We're still recording; the market hasn't closed, but
And you and Neil were seed round.
yes,
Big
Anand's
day.
really rich.
Big day.
Really rich.
I just got a
Neil
little
is
nervous.
like, Forbes rich list, and Anand's like hanging out with Forbes rich list.
He's like,
no,
they don't
I'm
ask
allowed
him
to
what
be
he's
on the
doing.
plane.
Yeah, like they don't
It's on
ask
my
him.
plane.
They don't ask him what he's doing at Yellowstone anymore. So did Neil? This might be too. We can cut this if it's too personal. Did Neil? Like, is this any big moment? Like, did Neil like become a billionaire today or anything like that?
Well, forget numbers. I
we
actually
don't-
want to.
No, we want
the numbers are-
numbers.
No, you can find in this one.
Yeah.
So
Green
they-
Oaks Capital owns 20% of the company. That is publicly disclosed.
So 20% of 90 billion, for those that are not good at math, is 18 billion.
Yes, which means you're a millionaire.
millionaire.
So was he
What?
like-
Billionaire?
No, I know. You asked if he's a millionaire.
I say Neil.
Oh, Neil.
Yeah.
Got it.
Like this, that's publicly disclosed. Green Oaks Capital. And here's
So did this guy go from like worth like a couple billion to like double-digit billion? Like, did Neil just jump like to a whole nother?
Oh, yeah,
stratosphere?
obviously.
Someone
I
give me
mean-
a blink if so.
I mean, look at him. I don't know. I don't know how rich he was
He looks
before.
tired. I can't tell.
Look, let's
He
just
doesn't
say
look rich yet.
I'd be blinking a lot. Let's just say.
I can't tell if he's falling asleep or blinking at me.
Yeah, I mean,
wow, good for Neil, man.
I mean, sure, the numbers are great
Blinkable.
for blinkable status, but
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think what's really important to note is that Green Oaks Capital and Neil, they don't do any press. So
Why? That has
he
to be
just
by
doesn't want
design,
it.
right? He just
yeah,
doesn't care.
he's just like, I don't want it. Because
He's not on Clubhouse.
he was when it was like 40 users, but not now.
He doesn't have rooms. How to Become a Billionaire. Me and Grant Cardone talking.
Right.
Got it.
But I think here's the important part, which I want to like highlight, is because if you look at Green Oaks Capital and what Neil's built, they're unequivocally, in my opinion, the best technology investors in the world. They have proven it with this IPO, and then wait till the next kind of 18 to 24 months. And we sit here and like sit on Twitter and watch all these people talk about how much money they're making and how big they are. And
are you referring to Chamath?
Sneak dissing? Are you sneak dissing?
Yeah.
Neil's much better than Chamath.
We didn't see a shirtless pic, Neil. Shirtless pic.
He's got a trainer.
What's his
He's got a
six-pack look
trainer.
like?
I know, I'm sure he has 10 trainers. He has to go to it, though. They can't just be sitting outside
He
his
has a
house.
trainer to
He's
train him to go to his trainer.
No, but I think it's really easy to get confused what the blowhards do on
What's
Twitter.
loudest voice? It's always loudest voice.
But isn't Neil a really good testament to the fact, like we had this kind of discussion in Clubhouse the other day, we did. Isn't Neil a testament to there's still a lot of there's still a really big path and a lot of people being very, very successful that you just never hear about.
Oh, there's so many.
Right.
Like building a platform and all the stuff that we talk about is definitely a route. And it's a route that works out really well for a lot of people. But there are a lot of Neils in the world that are quietly freaking killing it and just don't care to talk about how much they're killing it.
Well, I also think, when specifically in where Neil's stratosphere is, why do you want the target? Like,
right. Now he's got a family with 2 kids. Like, why do you want people
You wanna be
coming
Vlad?
at
There's a lot of billionaires and hundreds of millionaires that just are dying to have that target.
Because I think they're insecure.
Yeah.
We all know Neil very well. He's never been like that. It's not in his personality. Whereas a lot of these other folks, they maybe had some trauma as a child that is not carried with them.
So I'm going to share a tweet that Anthony tweeted. So this is in the public Twitter sphere as well.
Yep.
So Green Oaks Capital today on one investment, like let's keep in mind they have many other investments, have returned more in this one investment than Benchmark, which is the glorified VC firm that was early in Uber and all these software companies in the history of their firm in one day.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So Neil's phone must be exploding and he's just turning everyone down?
I don't know. He's responding to our fantasy football chat in seconds.
So he's probably ignoring like every other,
He's
all
probably
the
ignoring
media.
like all the billionaires and be like, no, Juju Smith should be.
Yeah, but I mean, like people must be beating down his door to understand who the hell this guy is, right?
I'm sure, yeah.
I'm sure that had already happened, right?
It's already happened. I think.
You're
So are
telling
we
me this
having
guy-
him on?
What?
Are we having him on the pod?
He'll come on the pod.
Yeah.
He'll come on the pod.
Yeah.
Shirtless.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Yeah.
flip on the camera?
I want 2 bottles of champagne shirtless.
Shirtless.
Neil.
But I also want to point out, like, it's not a story of an investor that just got lucky like I did, that I put money in with one of my best friends and it turned out to be this like massive company. I've seen him put the work in.
Yeah.
He's on the phone with the CEO of the company every single night.
Yeah.
So Korea time, US time.
And for how long? How you guys invested a decade ago? How
Yeah.
long? Yeah.
And like I can tell a story. We were in Korea in 2012, 13. So a couple years into the investment, we're at a dive bar taking shots with one of my friends from high school that lived in Korea. Like pretty drunk. And he's like, oh, bomb's calling. I got to take this. He goes into a stairwell of a CD bar, 2 hours, has a conversation about whatever the hell was going on at the time with the company.
Mid shots too.
Mid shots.
That's when Gangnam Style was big too.
No.
That's when maybe that's why he played it. He's like, remember that time in the stairwell when Gangnam Style was playing?
No, my point is like, he helped build the company.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't like he just put money in and he owns 20%. There's a
most
reason why he owns
investors.
20% of the company.
Totally.
It's not like Mayoshi-san.
No, Mayoshi just was like billions. Here you go.
Yeah, I just love one thing that I'm really big on these days is the Neils of the world. Like maybe this is because we're friends with him, but Neil's a very nice guy. If you just ran into him at a restaurant, you wouldn't know the guy's worth freaking bazillions of dollars. It's not all about his ego and who he is and, oh, did you see how many likes this got or how many my new thing? And he's just doing an incredible job, doing really hard work and doing a great job. I don't know. I think that like those people never, it's almost like I worry that young entrepreneurs or investors or whatever don't realize that those people exist. You think the only way is you have to be Gary Vee.
Yeah.
Or you have to be Grant Cardone, or you have to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you never
I mean,
hear
that,
from those guys.
unfortunately, that's just what they're exposed to, right? So like if you're a young person, you only hear the loudest voices, right?
Yeah.
You don't hear about, because frankly, there's just, and when it comes to wealth particularly, there's a lot more Neils than there are Dave Portnoy's.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so many wealthy people that we'll come across that just are under the radar. They work very hard. They're simple people. And in Neil's case, I mean, I think the cool thing about him is that dude works hard.
Yeah.
So hard. I mean, I had a call with him not too long ago and he's like, can you do 10 p.m.? I'm like, 10 p.m.? Jesus Christ, bro.
Let me tell you, like, the work ethic is insane because I've hung out with him obviously countless times, and when those calls come in, we could be at a restaurant, club, bar, doesn't matter. He's out and he's taking the call, and we could be blacked out at 6 a.m. when the call comes in, when everyone's like, what are you doing? Why is the phone ringing? And he's taking the call.
Yeah.
So he can it's like an insane balance where he knows how to be normal and have fun and enjoy life.
Yeah.
But when work calls, he doesn't, he shows up.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of good, like, I don't know, lessons in that. Like, of course, you don't hear about these people because these people don't talk a lot publicly. So, but I don't know. It's just really inspiring to me, a dude who is so successful, such a good dude, has a family. Like, he's a good human.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's not like what you think of when you think of, like, scumbag billionaire flying around to all the parties. You know, like, he's a good guy that just works hard and has built an incredible thing.
Yeah, it's so nice to see that. And I think we're going to obviously hear more. You're going to have to hear about him now.
I mean, this is the first of many of his IPOs. This is the one I'm part of. He's got many more coming.
He's a big year ahead.
Sheesh. Okay, well, congrats to frickin' our guy, man. Congrats to Anand.
Can you give a quick background on who Neil is for anybody that doesn't understand? You guys have just said Neil. Nobody knows who you're talking about.
That's fair.
That's fair. So Neil Method started a firm called Green Oaks Capital back in 2008 and has been investing in technology firms since then.
And Anand's very long-time friend. When did you guys meet?
We met at
In school?
when we were in college, actually.
Got it.
We actually met when we were in London in 2004 on a senior trip that me and my friends went on, and we were at like TGI Fridays.
I do got to say, if there's one testament to
That
why
was the
you
first
should,
time we met.
if there's one testament to why you should go to a nice school, I think the type of friends you can make. Is
Oh,
one.
yeah. I mean,
Making
because
just
if Anand
smart
went to
friends.
Anywhere else.
anywhere, you wouldn't have been on that trip. You wouldn't have met all those people that got you to London.
Right? I mean, you guys went there. I didn't. Don't you think that, like, you were exposed to
Oh, well,
a
I went to
network?
Harvard, so my level was even.
Oh, yours was higher.
Yeah. Anand's
well,
like
Anand,
hanging out in
you're
London.
cheap-
We're in
you're
Stad skiing.
At your
I
ghetto
was at
school you
TGI
went
Fridays
to.
in London.
Yeah, I got
He
it.
was.
But
I
that
was
is something,
skiing.
right? I mean, that is something to be exposed to just other smart, hardworking people that will go on to in life and do things.
Yeah,
you
it was
know?
mutual friends from my friends at SC. Vivek went to high school with Neil.
Got
And
it.
so when we were all in London, we all hung out together.
Got it.
And then he moved back to LA, and then we all hung out.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Good stuff. Well, yeah.
What are you buying?
I know, man. Give us the juices.
Buy something.
Buy something.
What? Oh,
Just
you
not
buy
a
me
watch.
lunch.
You don't have to buy like a watch.
Anything but a watch.
Like,
Anything but a watch or a French bulldog. Those
Or
are
like
targets.
maybe some shoes that aren't that.
a clean pair of shoes.
This is how I don't get robbed.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, it doesn't have to be something you wear, but
Yeah.
you gotta buy something.
There's actually nothing like.
Oh, this is such a lie. How about something for
do you
Amanda?
mean?
What would she like?
Do you stay? How much longer do you stay in that freaking apartment?
I said
Be honest.
a few years.
Few years? No. By this time next year, are you out of your apartment into a new place?
Unclear.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you, he's
This guy
going to buy the
fruit.
building and he's just going to recreate his
Yeah.
little world.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Listen,
don't know
man.
why you wouldn't, dude. That would be legend.
He's a conservative guy. He's an intelligent investor over here.
I know that would be a smart investment.
I agree. Okay. What about Roblox? They had a big day too.
Yeah, I mean, Roblox is another awesome. I think Anand felt good once the Roblox IPO came out.
Yeah, that was nice because, you never know how markets react to things. And when I saw Roblox, who has under $1 billion in revenue, trade at north of 40 billion.
That
Maybe
just tells
50
you.
billion?
It's funny how you kind of
quickly,
laughed at
Coupang is how
under-
big? What's the revenue?
12 billion.
$12 billion.
And free cash flow positive.
Okay, I don't know what that means. But
See how much smarter he got?
yeah, it's our
Overnight.
free cash flow
Yeah,
positive.
all of
What
a
is
sudden,
that?
he uses different words. And you see the way he kind of giggled when he said Roblox is under $1 billion?
Yeah.
He's sort of like,
Like under $1 billion. We can't even talk to people.
losers.
And we got Coinbase coming in 2 weeks.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. It's at that point, I'm guessing we won't even be able to really communicate it.
And then so Roblox, which is the gaming, entertainment, communication platform, that really only does like $1 billion in revenue, if that.
How do you justify 41 billion?
I think people think it's like the next Facebook. That's the only way that, or Snapchat.
Got it.
Or, because right now it's 9 to 15-year-olds playing video games that are created by the users. So
It's so interesting. This is one of those things I'm not going to even comment on because I don't know anything about it, but it sounds so Interesting. And for 41 billion, like that's so crazy.
It's crazy.
Where are they where are they based out of?
San Francisco.
Yeah. They're Stanford. My rival.
Yeah,
Your
you're
rival.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good for them. Big day. Lots of billions flying around.
I know an anonymous engineer who joined 2 years ago, not at a senior level, like just entry level engineering. 27, made $3 million on the IPO.
Wow.
Today.
Or yesterday.
That's amazing.
Could Neil buy Roblox outright right now?
I mean, sounds like he could.
Just kidding. Okay. All right. Let's talk about.
I don't want my kid playing video games. Boom, it's gone.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Gone. Let's talk about the world of SPACs.
Yeah.
It looks like Grab, which is a ride-hailing. Where's that out of?
Okay, Indonesia.
Indonesia ride-hailing is looking at possibly going public through a SPAC.
Yeah.
Is this Chamath?
No, I don't think it is Chamath.
It's so funny. Like for me, literally anytime I hear the word SPAC, I just think of Chamath.
I think SPACs are ice cold right now. All the SPACs, they kind of recovered in the last couple of days, but there's been $70 billion plus raised for SPACs this year, which is insane. Grab is essentially Southeast Asia Uber, and it's being valued at, call it another cool, $40 billion is the new $2 billion.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
$40 billion. There's no way this company makes $1 profit.
Is this looking like pretty likely or just in talks?
No, I think it's going to
A
happen.
$40 billion SPAC has to be the biggest SPAC of all time, right? I've never heard of a $40 billion SPAC.
No.
I mean,
I don't know.
no idea.
We'd have to look it up.
Yeah, it definitely is because all the SPACs this year combined are only $70 billion.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they just go public?
That's what I don't get.
Because their financials are probably fucked up and SPAC's just easier to do it.
That's what's so wrong with SPACs. Like, it just is like, it seems like the use case that is like legit is like 10%. It seems like 90% of the reason of reasons why people would do SPACs is to like skirt around something that you shouldn't be skirting around.
The real reason SPACs exist is that you are backing a person or a group of people that can go find an acquisition target.
But that's insane.
But
for
it's not.
billions.
It's not vice versa. You don't do a SPAC in the interest of trying to get Grab. So what you're saying is like, I'm going to back Drama and Dee and say they're going to find the next best big consumer company.
Terrible decision.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole point is like, yeah, cool, we like those guys, but what's the fucking
Why
company?
would I give them money?
What's the company? What's the financials? What's the everything? Like, we all know that you can have the most talented person in the world. If the company's shit, there's nothing you can do.
So it SPACs, all the people that commit have the right to back out
Yeah.
once you find the
But
acquisition
they're not
target.
going to. It's like that.
They're not
It's
going
like
to
sunk
because-
cost bias. It's like at that point, you're like, fuck it. Chamath likes it. Whatever.
Exactly.
I think the SPACs
I've
are
never
going to
heard
end
of
badly.
Nicola.
Yeah.
Nicola's
That's what I'm saying. I feel like you just get. I feel like it's a psychological like trick almost. Like you're already in. So to pull out your money at that point, you've already believe on the jockey. You already have money committed. You're going to make a worse decision than you would have had someone said, okay, erase the fact that you invested in this SPAC. Would you put the same amount of dollars in just this company now knowing this company's full financials? I don't believe the majority of the time the answer would be yes, but you're already so committed, you're like, fuck it.
I think they just know. So the people even investing in the SPACs from the origin level know that there's just this mania right now. So it's like a quick arbitrage to make some quick bucks. I don't think they believe in any of these fucking companies either.
Yeah, I think this is just a window because the volume of SPACs we've seen the last 12 months, it's just taking advantage of the market.
It's a joke.
It's similar to like subprime mortgages.
It's similar to our next story, which is there's a $69 million NFT.
This is what Anand bought.
It is, huh?
Yeah.
That's why
He
he's
didn't
so
wanna-
quiet and wearing his hoodies and his ripped up
Well, he
jeans.
has no more money left because he fucking bought this stupid NFT
Oh my
for $69 million.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it. Okay.
That's why he was up early. It was a Christie's auction.
That's right. It had nothing to do with the IPO. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
The truth finally comes out.
Okay. So, we sniffed that one out. You're welcome. Good luck robbing him of that because we don't even know where the fuck it is.
He doesn't even know where it
He
is.
has no idea. It just says owned by Anand somewhere on a website. Okay. What the fuck? This feels to me, I just, once again, sorry if I'm wrong here long term and turn out to be the bitter dude. It feels to me like all this talk about SPACs and a lot of this madness with NFTs is just absurd. It's just taking advantage of this weird, really hot time where a lot of money is flying around. Somebody bought a $69 million Beeple NFT. I don't know what a Beeple is. It just doesn't feel worth $69 million. And the fact that it's 69 makes me feel like we're being trolled.
Yeah. And by the way, self-taught artist named Mike Winkelman. The sale of this art is the third most expensive living artist after Jeff Koons and David Hockney. Most expensive digital asset ever. I think this is just good old-fashioned money laundering.
But don't you think if you were laundering money, like, why would you be this on the radar? Why not do like 10 $6 million ones or something? Or more likely $600,000 ones. Like, you're going to set the record?
I mean, when they said minutes later after the artist found out the bid had surpassed 20 million, he laughed.
At 20 million.
Yeah.
And then it ended up at 69 million.
Yeah.
Doesn't this just feel like it doesn't, when you talk about like, oh, you could tell that it was up. The time was up when that shit started happening. This feels like that.
And how quickly it got to this point. Because it's been, 4 months?
By the way, this guy's from Wisconsin, the artist. Is he the richest guy in Wisconsin?
Aaron Rodgers or him?
Yeah.
He made one piece of art.
A lot of great people come from Wisconsin.
And our boys in this article, they talk about the LeBron $200,000 sale.
I don't have an answer on what's going on with NFTs.
It just feels scary. It feels like anytime things stop making sense so much.
But what...
Like, think about when all the people that we've talked about, just real quick, that like have been like crooks. And you're like, yeah, he never felt right. That's what this feels like.
Yeah.
But if someone's willing to exchange $69 million, that means someone had $69 million and gave it to someone else in exchange for something.
We know what you did, Anand.
This is Anand's...
You have to tell it. You have to recap it.
This is what he bought, and this is how he's getting money out of the country. Yeah. It's gone. He's going to NFT to like Greece.
Okay. I see your plan.
I think this is all money laundering. All this NFT.
You might be right.
Business.
You actually might be right.
70 million is money laundering.
Top Shot to me does.
That kid with the 200 grand,
no, but
he's like smart and he's like opportunistic.
Top Shot feels a little legit to me.
Okay.
Right?
But Top Shot seems legit because I feel like those assets can be retraded. Like if you had the LeBron dunk with the D-Wade arms, I think that's a retradable asset.
I was just thinking there's no Kobe highlights on there yet.
I know. So imagine what they're purposely holding him back.
Yeah.
There's
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What
if you had the Mamba out where he drops the mic.
Oh my gosh, $1 billion.
Right?
Yeah.
What do we know what Beeple looks like?
I saw the art.
It's a collection of
5,000.
Or was it 5,000?
Yeah.
First 5,000 days.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was what?
It's a collection of 5,000 days, which I don't know. He said it's called First 5,000 Days. I don't know which 5,000.
And was he a
What do you mean
artist
days?
or no?
What does this mean? What do you mean days?
He just put pictures of 5,000 days. Every day he took a picture and put them all together. Something like that.
Wow.
I don't know if that's exactly what happened, but it's called 5,000 Days.
Okay.
I would like to formally announce a new partnership with Anand and Coupang,
Okay.
as I've now invested $1,000
Wow.
for the market close.
Congratulations.
Is that what you just did?
Yeah.
Wow. Big day for Pete. Get him a
thank you.
champagne.
I took it out of Dogecoin and I put it into Coupang.
Oh my
The new
gosh.
future.
Oh my gosh, man! Who knew Pete would be your partner one day?
Yeah, it's
He
crazy.
ditched Shema for me.
Yeah.
And Neil.
That's a
Jamal
good
who?
sign.
Yeah, Chama too.
Come on,
good
cool.
sign.
What are we doing? Fucking selling insurance on here? Fuck no. Coupang. Coupang. Whatever the fuck it is. I don't want no Metro Mile bullshit.
Oh my gosh, it's an ad.
Since how quickly things turn.
That should be a coupon ad.
Yeah. I don't need your Metro Mile bullshit. Fuck your insurance.
Oh my god. Okay. Next up.
Pass that boob, will you?
I might pour myself a glass. You're my partner.
Yeah. Celebrate that.
This was the partnership.
Tim, really quick, do you want to win $500?
Please, I need it.
Yes, of course you do. Who doesn't? I know all of you do. And if you stick with me for a few short minutes, I'm going to tell you how you can win $500 yourself for our group chat March Madness Bracket Challenge. That's right. This year, everybody asked it for it last year. They said, where's the bracket challenge? I said I was lazy last year. I never got to it. But this year, 1 year anniversary of the pandemic, I'm stepping up and we are going to do the group chat March Madness Bracket Challenge. And guess what?
What?
The first place winner gets $500. That's right. You're going to win a $500 gift card to any of our companies here at the 5-4 group. So if you end up winning, you can go ahead and pick your choice of where to spend that $500 amongst all the many companies that we have here. Also, second place is going to win $100. And third place, I actually think I'm going to pick a couple people. So it'll be like third, fourth, and fifth are all going to get group chat care packages filled with Athletic Greens, Liquid IV, Can, and all the other partners that we have, maybe even a Harvard sweatshirt. Who knows? But we're going to be packing those full, and we want you to participate. Here is how you enter. It's quick and easy. Take the link to this episode you're listening to right now. If you're listening to Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, go click those three little buttons or where it says share. You copy link, go into your own group chat with all your friends, send the link to them and say, listen to the latest episode of group chat. You won't regret it. Then go ahead and take a screenshot, throw it on your IG story. Make sure you tag us at group chat pod. And then we'll see that little tag. We're going to send you the invite along with the password to the private ESPN group chat March Madness Bracket Challenge. And there you are. Selection Sunday is happening this Sunday. Even if you don't like basketball, you still have a chance to win the money. All you have to do is follow those instructions, post it on your story, go sign up, make some measly fun picks, even if you pick because of their jersey color. You still have a chance to win. Tim, are you joining?
No.
Tim, you had to say yes. Tim, are you joining?
Yeah.
Keep that in. You can battle against me, Tim, Anand, Dee, and Drama, and all the other Cathys as well. So, go ahead and do that. We'll see you for March Madness. We'll get you back into today's episode. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. And good luck. You could end up winning a lot of money. $500 is a lot of money. You can get a couple pairs of shoes from New Republic, some new jeans, and who knows whatever else you want from 5-4.
It's more stimulus than I've gotten in a very long time.
Yeah. So the government is helping, but we are. Don't worry. All right, let's get you back into today's episode of Group Chat.
What's going on with Amazon? Amazon, like, they're making a bigger move in grocery than like what people realize, or what?
Yeah, you know, we've been obviously going back and forth to our parents' house the last couple of weeks. My mom told me there was an Amazon grocery store, so I just drove by it just to see it, and it's just full on Amazon signed grocery store.
Oh, it says Amazon.
Yeah,
Oh.
They've opened 11 stores already, quietly. Like, while everyone else is trying to figure out like delivery, and these guys open fucking retail stores.
Gosh, they're so good.
So they're obviously coming for groceries in a mega way.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to go open 1,000 grocery stores. I don't think this is going to be like, oh, we're going to test with 5. I think they're literally going to go and everywhere they cannot open a Whole Foods, which is in most of the country because of price points and, you know, what limitations a product they can distribute through Whole Foods.
Yep.
People want their Doritos.
You're damn right. That's a fundamental American principle, I think.
Yeah.
People want their Doritos.
Yeah, and I just don't see even the grocery cart, it's so badass. It's called a Dash Smart Cart. It literally, as you're putting it in, it like starts totaling up everything.
Damn.
It's so good.
I mean, imagine like they could just, oh, geez.
And it says they did a test in Chicago. A basket of 30 commonly purchased grocery items in one of Amazon's Chicago area stores last month undercut Jewel Osco, an Albertsons company, owned mainline grocer, by as much as 20%, including items that were already on sale. So it's really competitive with Walmart pricing.
Wow.
And the grocery store obviously looks nice. So like, I don't know, if I'm just a regular ass grocer, I'd be nervous.
As shit.
Yeah,
especially because just the amount of data that, like Ralph's isn't very data oriented. I don't think. You know what I mean?
Ralph, the guy's name's Ralph.
I don't think Ralph knows like the optimal amount of radishes on a Friday.
No,
you know?
and I think like imagine like, oh, we're out of stock on this. You want us to ship it to your house? That's probably what's happening.
Yeah.
Like instant.
I also think it's a actual real competitor to Instacart because there's a point in the grocery business, because the grocery business is a very small margin business, sub 10% margin. Mm-hmm. Even restaurants are 10 to 20% at optimized value. That there's a point where Instacart becomes cannibalizing to the grocery business. Uh-huh. And they're going to be forced to build their own groceries. Uh-huh. Because once
Instacart has to build their own grocery stores.
Right. Sorry, grocery stores. Yeah. So once Instacart gets over 20% of a Kroger's, that Kroger's is now unprofitable indefinitely.
So why is that?
Because the margins are so low because you pay a take rate to Instacart. Because you're already on such a low margin and you have to pay a take rate to Instacart that it wipes out the grocery store.
Got it. So Amazon could be a step ahead on that already happening.
And I'm sure Instacart will eventually build out their own grocery stores. So they can't rely on Kroger's.
And think about it, think about how much money you have to have. Instacart spent all this time and effort on building out a delivery. Now you're going to go build out grocery stores to compete with Amazon.
But if Amazon already has a head start, they've already started.
They got 11, quietly.
11's a lot of, that's already a lot of ground covered and a lot of info.
11 probably took 5 years for them to think about it.
They just got to go public.
Wouldn't you think 0 to 11
becomes a billionaire and just get Vladed?
Yeah. Wouldn't you think 0 to 10 is really hard and 10 to 100 is probably easier?
I remember talking to someone who was like a retail scaled expert years ago, and they were telling me how the first 5 could take me 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
But then once I figure it out, I can go to 100 in a few years. And I think
I'd be scared.
Yeah, and just Amazon. The problem is they can make mistakes. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
It's irrelevant. Oh, these 10 didn't work out, shut them all down.
But to me, it's the data. It's the fact that you don't, all jokes aside, Ralph's and those people are not, there's not data. I think they're just, right?
Buying shit.
You just buy what you buy. I don't know, we buy fucking lettuce and we buy X pounds of lettuce.
You know what? It's Super Bowl, put Bud Light at the end cap.
Yeah, Amazon can tell what's more popular in what areas and optimize their buying.
They can tell, initially from just digitally, because of what they know is being bought on Amazon.
They're hi D, tequila's to the right.
Yeah, or take exactly. Yeah, welcome. Your cart just steers.
It just goes. We know where you're going. Yeah, we know it's there. And by the way, we have a special today.
I imagine even you have a hot pan that's trending on Amazon.com. You throw that into the stores.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, whereas.
Ralph.
They have as seen on TV shelves at Ralph's. Ralph is literally Martha Stewart.
I walked into Rock and Roll Ralph's. So those that don't know, there's a very famous Ralph's on Sunset Boulevard near La Brea. And it's been called Rock and Roll Ralph's since I've lived in Hollywood, which is nearly 20 years. I went to Rock and Roll Ralph's, I think I was telling you guys, for Super Bowl because I wanted junky snacks. I walk in there. It's like a war zone.
Oh, it's terrible.
It's scary. It's literally scary.
That's the worst one.
I didn't want to feel I walked out of there I need sanitizer. I need to take a shower. Yeah. And
that thing's an after party mixed with a lot of other things.
Yeah, a lot of other unpleasant things. And I just couldn't believe what a Ralph's looks like. And then I would go to a Whole Foods or even a Target. Yeah. These grocery stores are going to get slaughtered.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Well, there we go. This is interesting. I didn't realize this is officially the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
So happy 1 year anniversary to everyone in the room. I'd actually be, what I think would be fun for us is maybe I might actually do this to go back to that episode. Yeah. So we are officially 1 year in to the fucking pandemic.
Yeah.
So it was a year ago that the NBA got canceled and Tom...
literally this week, a year ago.
No, it was this day.
Tom Hanks and
the NBA got canceled today, a year ago, March 11th.
Wow. Because we were man, it took Tom Hanks to really get us to take this serious.
Yeah.
How about this? 2 weeks to slow the spread. Remember that?
Yeah. We'll be out in 3 months.
Remember that campaign?
Give it a couple weeks.
Instead, the entire world got destroyed.
Remember that?
Destroyed.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It's been a year.
It doesn't even feel like. I feel like we were just in here.
It was
Just in-
honestly, it will go down as the most devastating year in American history.
Wouldn't you say world history?
Sure, I don't have the
Maybe
perspective of the
Spanish
rest of
flu
the
or
world,
something.
but I would say definitely world history. It is
Because it affected all countries equally.
yeah.
Because I
So
wonder.
certain world wars
Not in New Zealand.
affected a handful of countries.
Yeah.
Fucking New
Yeah.
Zealand.
And certain wars affected a handful of countries,
Yeah.
right? Like World War II didn't affect India,
Yeah.
Yeah.
didn't affect China,
Yeah.
but COVID affected every single country.
Yeah.
It's also the way that it slowed. It's not just deaths, like the way that it just halted everything,
Yeah.
halted all commerce, all travel worldwide.
I think it halted society from developing, and the impact of it is going to be for decades. So I remember reading after the 2008 recession, particularly people my age, maybe a little bit younger, it took, it scarred a demographic from 2008. And I think it scarred older working folks that lost their jobs. And I think it scarred some young people that just got lost, and they ended up getting lost for a decade.
Yeah.
And, it's really hard. Like if you're 12 today and you as you get older, this will be an afterthought, right?
Yeah.
If you're at this pivotal transformational point in your life, and this was the last year, like you were a senior in college or your first year at work or looking for a job or whatever it was,
Yeah.
or you lost your job and you were close to retirement, whatever those things were, this has derailed so many people's lives.
Yeah.
And I honestly, sure, we're going to give some stimulus. Stimmy's supposed to hit this weekend.
Yeah.
So people will start getting money this weekend. But we're only, what are we going to get? Maybe one more stimulus,
It's done.
There's no
This
more.
is it.
so
is
we're not
it.
getting any more stimulus, and that's it. And so, we lost millions of lives. So many people's families were kind of decimated. So many businesses are gone. I don't see how the fuck we recover from this. And I don't even know what the solution is. It's going to take 10 years.
Here's what I think too. I think that not to be too pessimistic, but I do think that I think that the 12-year-old in your example that is healthy, mentally super healthy, whatever, that child is probably okay as long as their parents didn't get so messed up from
And they
this.
didn't lose their job
That
or
now,
whatever.
whatever, right? Because I think that what happened in 2008 as well is so many parents got screwed over that the way that even affected the child's outlook on the world.
So true. I ran into someone that's probably early 20s.
Yeah.
And they were telling me, yeah, the recession really fucking ruined my family. I was
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, my dad lost his
Which
job.
recession?
2008.
Yeah.
Just our family fell apart.
Yeah. What that tells a 10-year-old of how the world works.
Yeah.
And hearing your dad or mom or both say, we're going to get screwed no matter what, and you have no chance of succeeding and blah, blah, blah. It really derails people's lives. And I think that there's a lot of young kids that even were maybe minorly struggling that this whole year off could have potentially derailed.
Oh, yeah.
Long-term effects.
Yeah. And I just don't, I think the mental ramifications of the last year, I talked to a very close friend of mine recently, and he was not fucking doing well. And he's my age, kids, financially fine. And I was like, damn.
But I also think that's a consequence of the media and data not telling the story properly. So if you go back to what we were hearing, I actually listened to a podcast that recapped conversations March 11th it was a sports podcast. They talked about Dr. Fauci, how that Utah Jazz game that got canceled,
Yeah.
which was kind of this seminal moment of when COVID was real, and the way they were talking about COVID and how scared people were oh my God, I got it. And I think that was the general sentiment. If you got COVID back in March of 2020,
over.
you're dying, you were afraid to tell people, you weren't willing to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then I'm also seeing it kind of 1 year later where people who are double vaccinated are still afraid.
Yeah.
And we're not listening to data a year ago.
Yeah.
And we're not listening to data now. And the way just kind of messaging is signaled through the media has a mental effect on society that is so unimaginable.
Yeah.
And we saw it last year. I mean, 1 year ago, we thought if we got it, we'd die.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There was like, oh, you have a 10% chance of dying.
Yeah, I think the thought was 10% of the population is going to die in the next year.
And it turned out to be 0.05%. And then it turned out to be 78% of people who were even hospitalized were obese.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that all the deaths were over 65.
Yeah.
So I was thinking if Donald Trump was not president, this would have been a very different place. And not because, if someone had been more competent or incompetent, forget all that. In the sense that I think because, there's one portion of the media wanted to take him down no matter what.
Yeah.
Right? I think that...
You think it would have been a more measured response if it weren't Donald Trump?
If it wasn't Donald Trump, what would have happened...
Which is also kind of just a complete assault on the media.
Yeah.
That they got so obsessed with taking down Donald Trump that they misled the American...
We had a death counter for 1 year straight, always on TV.
It's still there.
Think about that.
Yeah.
To me, it feels like if you went to... Anand, if you were walking... Well, maybe I shouldn't use this, too close to home. Pete's walking to his local 7-Eleven. Someone runs up on him with a gun, roughs him up a little bit.
Wait, is it too close to home? Because 7-Elevens are typically Indians?
No. that was my fucking Gangnam Style moment. Too close to home because you just made a lot of money. Too close to home because you just made a lot of money and you like to walk your neighborhood. Let's say Pete walks in, robbed at gunpoint, roughed up a little bit, has a traumatic experience. He forever walking into that 7-Eleven he might avoid it for the rest of his life. I feel like this year has been more traumatic than what we talk about.
Yeah.
And I think to your point, Dee, like the long-term effects of like the trauma for people of thinking they were going to die and thinking we had this thing sweeping the nation. It's like, I was watching a show the other day where the two people were walking down the road and one coughed. And the fact that the other one didn't flinch caught my attention.
Yeah.
Like, oh, people just cough in front of each other?
Yeah.
Because now a cough is like the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
But I think there's like the effects of that last for a really long time.
Yeah, and I think what exasperated everything was, so you had Donald Trump as president, you had the media going nuts, scaring everybody. Mm-hmm. You had clearly, COVID was a political thing the entire time, it still is. Who took it seriously, who didn't take it seriously. And then you take it one step further, we had the Black Lives Matter movement, we had an election, we had just all these things that were so divisive. Mm-hmm. So think about it. We're in quarantine. People are losing jobs. Luckily, last year they were giving unemployment insurance and people somehow survived, got through the year if you were fortunate enough to. Now a year is over. We're all exhausted. Everyone has fought and argued with everyone they know.
Yeah.
And now we're like, oh, the country's opening up. Disneyland opens in April. Good luck. Go back to the movies. Yeah. Go back to the gym. Go back to eat. And we're like, fuck you. Yeah. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
You scared the shit out of me. Now I don't want to do anything. And frankly, I don't think anyone else does either.
Yeah.
Like I know people are like jumping at like, I can't wait to go out to eat. By the way, restaurants are open in LA. They're not slammed. They're not fucking slammed.
No.
Everything I drive by now, that first weekend, everything was slammed.
I think people are scared.
Yes.
Well, maybe your restaurants, but
also
young ones are
So
slammed.
I was in Santa Monica.
Like on a weekday night.
A lot of them are, yes. A
Like
lot of
where?
them are hard
Give
to
me
get
a restaurant.
reservations.
I think the
Over on the
kids-
west side, if you're talking in Venice, Santa Monica, they can be pretty the better restaurants.
I think a lot of the young
Not all,
20s don't give as much of a shit.
Sure.
But that's...
But that's a small
right.
portion of the population.
Perfect example. Yesterday, we were in Santa Monica for an appointment for Mav, and we had 30 minutes to kill. Mm-hmm. And we sat on by a Starbucks on the side of a street. Mm-hmm. 30 minutes. Mm-hmm. Minimum 10 homeless / schizophrenic people that I was kind of uncomfortable. I can't believe we're sitting here, but we just were like...
He's like, I'm so rich now. I can't even look at these people.
No, I was just
disgusting.
I don't want to send a hospital. I'd rather just
But there was no restaurant?
No, it was all outdoors.
Oh, okay.
Because it rained, the one place that had covered got poured, and they were like, you can't sit here, so we're on the sidewalk.
Got it.
No, but my point was, this is Santa Monica, very nice area.
Yeah.
And it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
30 minutes. at 1 p.m.
Yeah, I don't think we'll know. I think literally 10 years from now, we can start to try to analyze what happened. You know, like and what the real long-term effects were, how it affected families, lives, you know, people's ambition.
And when will it come back?
I think it's almost almost look at it like building from scratch a new reality.
A new normal.
Like I think back to what we were should be forgotten about in most cases.
Yeah. And I think look, there's going to be a certain group of the population that's just going to go on and move on with their life. But in order for society to move forward, you need, the same way you need herd immunity for this to end, you need a herd of people to accept life for us to have a normal way of life. And I just, you know, I like the fact that like I haven't thought about traveling and I can go, I'm vaccinated.
Yeah.
And I literally do not want to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just...
And you're a traveler.
Yeah, and I've traveled my entire adult life excessively, and I'm still not... And it's a lot of things. There is the COVID thing with having children. There's general safety in just wherever places you go. You know, and I just think that like I'm also not in a mindset to celebrate. I don't know, like... I don't know, it doesn't feel appropriate.
I'm telling you, I think it's kind of traumatizing. Yeah. And I think it's kind of like, whoa, like something crazy just happened. And like, I'm not sure yet that I want to go like take any risk.
Yeah. I think it's just going to take time.
Let me ask you this. Each of you, if on March 11th of last year, you could have just popped your head in the door for 2 seconds and told yourself anything for what was coming, what would you tell yourselves?
Stimmy is coming. Just be patient. I'm just going to say 3 letters. P, P, P.
But
I already said GME. Would have fucking said
TSLA.
I could have said just wait literally 1 calendar year.
No, but even I thought coronavirus was going to affect the U.S. pretty significantly.
Yep.
But I thought it was like a 60 to 90 day thing.
Yeah.
Like I was like, okay, we need to hunker down 69 days. And then...
So what would you say? Like really hunker down?
No, it'd be like get MAGA to wear masks. Like how can we do a campaign?
Yeah.
If half the country... I think one half the country wore masks. The other half didn't.
Yeah.
And I think that compounded what is now north of 500,000 deaths that would have been, you know, significantly less than that.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk about that, but like 500,000 people died. That's fucking nuts.
But I am telling you, I don't think we'll ever see the data, but if you had the data you added on top of that, suicides, relapses, drug overdoses.
It's millions.
It's millions.
Yeah.
It's so many.
People that didn't get proper care because...
People like, our friends have told us about people who needed surgery for cancer and didn't get it, or people who had symptoms of cancer or reoccurring and didn't go to the doctor because they're scared to leave their house. And like, though, if you could somehow quantify all of those numbers, it's so many.
And I also think the Florida test case, which everyone's pointing to, is not telling the whole story either.
No.
Because
you mean just the open it up thing?
Open it up and like...
Herd immunity. It's
like, you guys suffered a lot of pain too. You just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. That's another thing I realized is no one's talking about it. Like, there's a lot of stories happening. There's a lot of people I'll talk to whose, you know, parents got it and are fighting it. Or, you know, I have a friend whose dad passed away recently from corona.
Oh my God.
But you just don't hear those, you know, like you don't see that on Instagram. You see like, oh, everyone's at the club tonight in Florida.
Yeah.
Anywho.
And I think that 30-day period, if we look back, 30 to 60 day, it was so surreal. I remember we still kept coming in here. And I was just like, what's going on?
I know, it just felt so weird. It felt so mysterious.
And in March, we weren't wearing masks. That wasn't a thing.
No, because we were told not to.
Yeah.
We were told it didn't do anything. And remember, you would try to get them and you couldn't. I remember Amanda making an order and like, yo, do you want a few?
Yeah.
We found like a Chinese hookup.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, yeah, I'll take 3.
Yeah,
and the real alarming part was, I think, in April, when Corona had already been handled in China, the vendors were reaching out to Amanda saying like, hey, can we send you masks? I know you guys are screwed.
Yeah. Our last meal was the nice guy. Lucali, Brooklyn was in pop-up at Nice Guy. And the pictures and videos popped up yesterday. And everyone is making fun of me in this video. Literally everyone, even including Anand. Anand posted on Instagram. Look at this guy. He's scared of the.
Oh, because you're scared of Corona?
Because I literally would not shake anyone's
you
hand.
wouldn't
Nothing.
shake
Everything.
hands.
John Turgeon's trying to
John
lick
licked
me.
him.
You were early.
Trying to lick me.
Yeah.
Just like.
You
Which
were
is
early.
he ended up getting it after that.
Yeah.
So it's like all of that's happening. It's just like
we should cancel John.
yeah.
Cancel John.
Yeah, my last
2021.
dinner out in public was at Delilah, and John came over and shook everyone's hand.
Man.
Probably infected at the time. Okay, well, happy 1 year anniversary, man. We're stronger than ever.
Yes.
You know, we've
Yeah.
been through hell together. I wish we could all celebrate together. Like
And
I
let's
wish.
congratulate ourselves. Not one person got a COVID positive test.
That's
Yeah, I'm gonna knock on wood.
I think I did. I just
I'm
never
not vaccinated.
like
Yeah.
officially got tested at the right time.
I mean, we've
real
seen each
wood.
other 3 days a week
yes.
for 1 year during a pandemic.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
an
yeah. you're right.
enclosed room.
Yeah.
Particles everywhere. We're yelling and screaming. Particles going
Yeah.
everywhere.
I have to believe though, other than Pete, that's just a testament to like you're just kind of cautious.
Yeah.
Mass work.
Like Pete didn't do shit. Pete literally taunted
No, there was
the
a few
virus.
moments where I took caution.
But there's a few where
Hold
you
on,
did.
Pete. Were you ever afraid of
Dying.
dying?
Absolutely not. Look at me. I'm an absolute fucking unit.
No, but like back
COVID
in
doesn't
April,
want anything to do with it.
Back in April and
Oh
May,
my
you didn't
God.
think
I
like,
was within question. I was like, what are we like? What is this? Obviously, everybody was, but I didn't think it would ever be that bad.
I
For
never
me,
thought I was
personally.
gonna die.
No.
Per se, I was just like, oh, I might get really sick.
I didn't
trying to
understand because
think.
I was supposed to go to St. Patty's Day in Chicago
Yeah, I remember
right
that.
before I canceled it. And I was talking to Dee. Dee's like, look, if you go, like, I don't know, like, what's going on with everything, but you can't come back
Yeah, 'cause
here.
March-
I was like, maybe I should cancel my trip. He's
Yeah.
like, you're gonna be in crowds.
Wait, March 17th, right? St.
Yeah.
Patty's?
They canceled that, right?
Yeah, they ended up canceling everything. I
last
had tickets
minute?
for shit, and it was like last minute, everything got shut down. So I was like, oh, it was the right
I
decision.
think when I thought I might die was when those videos were coming out, which were probably somewhat doctored of
In China.
in China of like
Were
bodies in the street,
that giant spray gun that was like just
locked
dousing
up.
it in smoke. You were like, what is?
But remember, there was like bodies in the street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I was most scared not of Corona,
Yeah.
but when my cousin's friend at the Pentagon sent me the video.
yeah.
Yo, told
Our
me.
guards are
No,
coming.
but to be honest, you know why I wasn't scared? And I'm not trying to like make this weird. It was just like we were spending so much time in the hospital at the heart of Corona, March and April,
Yeah,
and the nurses and doctors weren't worried.
yeah,
And then that gave me like
yeah.
kind of like
It's like when you're on a plane that has turbulence and
I
you
was
look at the
like, they
flight
were
attendant.
like, hey, it's not that bad right
Yeah.
now. Like everyone chill out a bit.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, well here we are. 1 year in.
Year later.
Happy anniversary.
I love how
Hopefully this
year
time
in.
next year we're like, haha, remember coronavirus? You know what I mean? I don't know. These variants seem kind of crazy.
I also love how like on the year anniversary we celebrate coupon going.
It's,
Just
it's
you never
amazing.
know.
Like
Sometimes the darkest
Could've been
night
yesterday,
is
could've been
before the
today.
brightest.
Yeah.
Whatever.
could have been tomorrow.
Yes.
It's really,
Thank you.
really powerful.
Hey, I'm a poet.
Yeah.
I'm what Dee wants to be. Okay. Let's wrap it up with our winners, losers, and content. Dee, what do you got for a winner?
My winner's Anand.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you guys.
I think it's one, I'm very happy for your success. 2, you could have sold. I would have sold probably year 3. I'd be like, how much is that? And get me the fuck out of this thing.
Yeah.
So credit for you to holding. I
Paper
think,
hands over here.
Yeah, I'm definitely paper hands.
We got diamond hands. over
Yeah,
there.
Anand Diamond handed it. Obviously, our dad would be so proud of you, so happy for you.
Mm-hmm.
So very special on that one. And I know you're going to do a lot of good now that you have the money. And I hope
We're invited.
we're invited for the journey, but you continue to do good for the community, society, because that's what matters.
Man, good for Anand. Anand, I also want to say, like, you've had a tough, couple years, or maybe even more at this point, but nobody deserves a big win like this more
Yeah,
than you do.
I
And I
agree.
appreciate that.
Very happy for that.
Yeah.
All jokes aside. But please buy something ridiculous.
Yeah. Or be like Jeff Bezos. Give it all away.
No, don't do
The
that.
pledge. Give the pledge.
Okay, well, what about loser?
I didn't even think about one.
I think I got one.
You only got a winner here today.
Yeah. My loser.
I'm in a winner mood.
My loser is the royal family.
Wow.
Sorry, I hope nothing happens. I don't know if they have like assassins or something, but I think that we live in a world where information and like sort of the truth and anyone can get their story out. We're like these kind of bullshit, like what would you call them? Like constructed. There's a word for it, but these bullshit like made up sort of things where you can kind of silence people and try to build a facade.
You don't realize how big of a machine it is.
Yeah, and like you've been doing it for
centuries,
and you know that it's always operated that way. And it's just I feel like a lot of these things you're getting to the point where those things are just kind of breaking.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's cool to watch because if you know there's all that racism and over controlling or whatever, like fuck that because you're like what? Because you're royalty that doesn't have any power other than it's just weird.
Yeah.
And I'm glad when, like in the modern day of media and content, you start to see those things have some trouble.
Yeah.
You got to sort of fess up to what's going on in there. And if it's anything fishy, you don't deserve to exist.
I agree.
I have a loser.
What do you got?
The NBA.
Why? What'd they do?
So Miles Leonard is publicly...
That's the racist guy?
The racist guy. Jewish slur. Mm-hmm. And everyone's been quiet.
Really?
None of the stars have spoken up.
Has the
this
NBA
is a social justice league.
It is.
Right?
The only one that spoke up was Julian Edelman, and he plays for the Patriots.
He's
in
a
the fucking
football
NFL.
player. He's not in the NBA.
And all he did, and all he said was like, "Come over to Shabbat dinner. Let me teach you what's going on."
But like, I'm very disappointed in the NBA stars who I love and like, am like obsessed with, and I watch all their games. Like, yo, you guys got to step up. You can't just like turn a blind eye to this because it doesn't affect your community. It's either like we're the social justice league and we're going to stand up to all racism.
Yeah, that is true.
Or you're not. And you know,
they got NBA Top Shot this week, so
I mean, guys like, Chris Paul, LeBron, D Wade, Carmelo. You guys have been so outspoken about abolishing racism. Like step up. It's not that hard.
I'll tell you, just being that all of my closest friends are Jewish, there is not enough support for the Jewish community when it comes to things like this.
Yeah, like, because they just assume like, oh, you guys are rich, we don't care.
Yeah.
And so are
That's
you
just
fighting
another like stereotype.
So are you fighting a class warfare or are you fighting a race warfare?
Plus the thing that all Jewish people are rich is also
it's
like
nonsense.
Oddly racist.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you're rich, who cares? What?
No, but those guys need to step up. And like I'm very disappointed because I gave them 24 hours. I was waiting for the Instagram post.
Yeah.
Because they post about everything else.
Yeah. You're right. You're totally right. Has he been punished at all?
No.
Yes.
Has he?
Yeah. This morning they came out.
What happened? I didn't see it.
It was I think it was a $50,000 fine, and he's suspended from the facilities and playing for like 2 weeks.
I mean, his owner is Jewish.
Really?
Mickey Harrison.
I mean, the commissioner of the league is Jewish.
Yeah.
So you know how I was talking about how his wife said.
So punishment, fine.
Okay.
I have no view on.
You still have to talk about it.
But you have to talk about it.
100%. There should have been more acknowledgement by the league.
No one's. And I went on every of the stars' Instagram to see like what happened. Everyone's been silent. They haven't posted anything about their brands, but they haven't posted anything about this.
Yeah.
And you can't post the other if you're not going to post this.
That's true.
You know, I was talking about his wife, who's a TikTok star. Last episode. So Miles Leonard's wife is like a big TikTok star.
Okay,
She's got a couple million followers. She just spoke on a panel at All-Star Weekend. And her very last video, she hasn't posted anything since this happened. Her last video, she showed him streaming. He goes, his game's going off right now. So this is just through the glass.
She deleted it.
And she didn't delete it. And the comments, I went and looked at them today. They're like, how'd the stream go? Get ready for another long break. Yo, how's that stream? And they're just roasting her in the comments.
She likes it. That's why she kept it.
Yeah, 100%.
All right.
So she posted that. Now she hasn't posted anything since.
Yeah, we need to step up NBA guys.
Agreed.
100%.
That's a good point. Okay, content. Do you got any content or no?
Yeah. Judas and the Black Messiah. It is about Fred Hampton. It's fucking incredible.
What's that on? Netflix?
No.
HBO?
I've seen it on TV.
Maybe HBO.
Or Showtime or something?
It is about Fred Hampton, who was only 21 years old. He was literally killed by the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
This is why like Black Americans are so skeptical anything to come from the government. When you watch this, you're like, Oh my God.
Yep.
This is the most insane thing you've ever seen. So check it out. It's incredible. Something more lighthearted. I don't know if I've talked about this. Ginny and Georgia. I did talk about it, right? Did I talk about it?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
We were talking because, anyways, it's a hysterical, funny. It's another high school mom show, like whatever, on Netflix. It's incredible.
I feel like you're just running through the Netflix content.
Big, like anything high school friendly, I'm interested. Okay. I don't want any of the murderers.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a little,
Hey, I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
high school.
I'm
No,
just
I just
saying.
want. I just want lighthearted stuff. I don't want
Yeah,
like.
right.
I wonder if you could
right,
say
right,
like, I wish you could generate like who Netflix thinks you are,
Yeah.
and like Dee's like a high school girl,
Yeah.
you know, and they're like,
Give me the All American.
You're a 15-year-old girl.
Cobra
struggling
Kai.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai is definitely for old people. That's not a. Even though it's high
Yeah.
school kids,
I never watched
it's
that.
for my age group.
Yeah.
okay, you're young at heart, man. At least when it comes to your comedy choices. Anand, what about you?
So ESPN 30 for 30 podcast, I mentioned it a little earlier. They recount from a sports perspective March 11th about the pandemic. And you don't have to be a sports fan to enjoy it. And they have interviews from that time period from a year ago.
Yep.
And it shows you how people were thinking about the virus and how scared people were.
Yep.
And it was a real good, like, just kind of exploring until you have all the data. Like, everyone should reserve judgment
Yeah.
because the way people were acting a year ago, and I guess rightfully so because we didn't know.
Yeah.
And it was just really fascinating to listen to. And and you don't have to be a sports fan. 30 for 30, they did it March 11th. It's about the Jazz game being canceled, but they have Fauci on. They have the governor of Oklahoma who made the call to shut down the Thunder Jazz game.
Wow.
Got it.
And it was really fascinating to listen to.
Yeah, that's really cool. Mine is just quickly something we didn't talk about, and that is that Drake is back.
Oh yeah.
We never even talked about it. We've been the biggest Drake supporters here on group chat.
Okay.
Drake is back. I think this is kind of what he does, right? Is like releases some kind of teasers and some little records.
What do you think of the records?
I think they're fine.
I think What's Next. I think that's the song. That one's great.
That's the first of the three, right?
yeah. The other
That's
two.
the social media
What's
darling.
next is the social media darling, and then I think the Lemon Pepper freestyle is sort of the like where he got off his
yeah.
talking his shit.
Yeah.
But I think it's like, it's been number one all week. I think it's
Yeah.
probably going to sell like over 100,000 units,
Yeah.
which is insane for 3
Songs.
But you know what I noticed? Yeah,
Everyone's
that's the one.
posting.
Yeah.
But what are people posting? I see the song on social media. Like, what are they like trying to imply?
Well, they're excited.
That they had sex on Valentine's Day, I think.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
No one was stretching on New Year's Day.
It's not a grand
well,
running
I did
club.
rest
You
all
should do
summer.
the grand running club.
Yeah. And I do. What I do think though is it seems to me like the tone on Drake might be changing. Meaning, I think people are giving in to like Drake is one of the greatest.
Yeah.
Like I think for so long in our Drake journey, there was a lot of Drake hate. There was a lot like, oh, you like Drake, like you like whatever. But like I really just felt when he came out with this one and the numbers it was doing and whatever, it just felt like, oh my God, Drake's back and the greatest ever, and look at the numbers he's doing, and oh my God, like I feel like he might have officially risen to like, like that Jay-Z sort of like how our generation thinks about
of
Jay-Z.
course.
But we'll see.
I think you can look at him too, like the way that people look at LeBron, he can lose in the finals and everybody can still shit on him, at least the other 50% that hate him.
Mm-hmm.
But like with Drake, the whole thing is built for him. He'll never like lose now. Every time he puts out a record to do millions and millions and millions, it doesn't matter.
That is true because
It's all set up for him to win now. He'll never lose.
But he makes good records. I mean, we'll see. The whole album, I can only guess, is coming, any day, the next couple months or something. But yeah, we didn't talk about it. That's it. We're out of here. What's Satoshi want to say?
Oh yeah, my bad too.
I'm starting to think Satoshi might be Tim. Because Tim didn't respond in that group chat when you brought it up that it's one of us. And it's weird that the messages always happen to come through Tim.
No.
And I think we kind of hate on AOC sometimes. I think Tim has a bit of a bone to pick. And this is his way of expressing it.
He's like, I'll show you pansexual.
Yeah. How dare you? You want to talk about my Twitch star?
Well, this is the letter I wrote this. Satoshi wrote this. Nate Doge wrote,
Nice.
Hey, fam. Hope you guys are having a great week. Happy to hear the three of you together again. My winners losers content schedule got thrown off over the past couple of weeks, so I had to unload everything today. My winner of the week is Pokemon. Like millions of others, I grew up as a big Pokemon fan, and the past couple of weeks have been mind blown by how consistent they've been as a staple with my youth. Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise of all time and just celebrated their 25th anniversary last week. Yet 25 years later, they're still killing it. In the last couple of weeks alone, they have trended on Twitter for releasing a Happy Meal with McDonald's, collabed with Levi's on clothing, seen their cards appreciate like crazy, and released a popping song cover with Post Malone. I can't even imagine what kind of stuff they'll do with VR and NFTs. Insane stuff, insane business and diversity, 100%, $100
It's a little too
billion
much
dollar.
Satoshi.
Yeah, this is so much.
Yeah, dude.
Just his winner?
That's the winner. We got it. Pokemon. Move on, next
yeah,
one.
got it.
Next one.
What's his
Next
loser?
Satoshi.
Losers Pierce Morgan
Okay,
and,
next.
Fair.
and
What's his
Bethany
content?
Frankel.
His page?
Finally, content. Young Rock on NBC has been great.
Okay.
3 episodes in so far. I love the wholesomeness
very
of the show.
detailed.
As a
Yeah, he's gonna be
sports
On the
fan-
first episode, Rock talks about his childhood and his relationship with his mother.
I'm surprised you haven't watched that yet.
No, I didn't even know what channel it was on.
Yeah.
I saw the billboard.
That seems up your alley.
Yeah.
If D doesn't get the AGT judging job, he might be able to get an American Idol job instead. His dog Randy can hook it up.
How does
much
he
I'll
know
be
you're
back
friends
on
with
Monday.
Randy?
How you supposed to?
Ooh.
I'm sure I've had a picture.
I mean, we've
Yeah, no,
talked
you-
about it like kind
Very
of,
vaguely.
No, he had him here for an
oh, he was in a
detour with him.
podcast with
Yeah.
me once. Yeah.
but so long ago. Like, this is fishy.
This guy's been hanging around a while. I'll tell you that. This guy's not new to the program.
I mean, I even forgot that you knew Randy.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's going to be a no for me, dog.
Okay, is that all we got? Our whole shout out section is now just Satoshi.
Yeah.
Oh, did he see the meme he posted to you?
Which one?
It's like when you start talking shit about my girl Megan, and he like screenshotted from the YouTube. You
Oh,
like
yeah,
your
yeah,
fist
yeah.
down like this, like the Arnold fist.
Oh, that was
and
really
then zoomed
funny.
in again.
That's good. It's on his Instagram?
Yes, Satoshi from group chat.
Okay, I'll follow it. Okay, that's it. We are out of here. Everyone have an incredible weekend. Make sure you celebrate 1 year in pandemic land. And you know what? Maybe give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah.
Maybe congratulate yourself. You know, it's been a tough year and you made it through.
Yeah. Brighter days ahead.
Brighter days are definitely ahead, literally and figuratively. And
Literally because Sunday the
Big
clock's
is-
changed.
I know, I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
I'm
And there's a bill in the Senate to make it permanent.
But we already passed that in California.
Yeah, but I don't think it goes into effect.
Like, fuck off. We passed it.
You know what I decided? I was telling Haley this. I'm not going to change my clocks in the fall. I'm going to operate under the old time frame.
I'm okay with that. The
And
problem
just
is
when people say, "Oh, you're an hour earlier or an hour late," whatever.
Yeah.
Or
Or
it's
that
just like-
you're an hour later.
No, I'm
You're
like,
an
no,
hour early.
My schedule
so
says
stupid.
otherwise. You know what? In today's society, you get to pick and decide your fate. My fate is based on this time zone. It's going to be spring forward, and I'm staying fucking here.
I think you should say I identify as.
That's exactly
identify
the
as.
word I use. So
Yeah,
funny you said it.
yeah.
I identify as a spring forward guy.
Yeah.
There's Eastern Standard Time. There's D Standard Time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that.
I might even put it 2 hours ahead.
DST. Yeah, it's the dumbest thing ever, and every year this time, to me, it like is such a mood changer.
Oh yeah. I mean, I could already feel like I was looking at the clock. I'm like, this is gonna be 6 p.m.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's coming.
Yeah.
It's now just a little light still at 6.
Yeah.
So now that'll be 7.
Yeah.
We're all good.
I know P.
How does it affect sleep?
That'll be.
Well, you don't sleep. What do you care?
You got to wake
sure.
up an hour earlier. Essentially.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
sleep.
rich. Also,
Well, whatever.
Yeah,
What
you're
do you
rich.
care?
You should definitely not change your clocks.
No.
Yeah, just
Rich
tell
people
your
don't change their
helper,
clocks.
Yeah.
Come in an hour early. Okay, that's it. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend. We will see you on Sunday night.